When I shot my first wedding film, I wasn't a filmmaker yet. I was a photographer learning weddings slowly, frame by frame. But video came from a very different place. Before weddings, I was making fashion films, behind the scenes videos on fashion shoots, watching moments unfold when no one was really performing. And somewhere there, I realized something very important. Wedding filmmaking isn't about directing moments, it's about finding them. I'm Ankita Asthana, founder of WeddingNama. Over the years, I have photographed and filmed weddings across cultures, continents, and formats. But more than the scale, what's always mattered to me is how a wedding is remembered, how it feels. This film is about my philosophy of wedding filmmaking and why color plays a much bigger role in that than we often realize. I learned filmmaking while assisting and creating BTS content with fashion photographer Vishesh Varma. You should check out his work, it's great. He was an NID senior. He didn't just teach me software or technique, he let me explore ideas. And through those behind the scenes films, I found myself filming some of the most inspiring women. Madhuri Dixit, Deepika Padukone, Vidya Balan, Anushka Sharma, and so many more. Watching how they carried themselves and how fashion films were lit, observing moments between shots, those laughs, those smiles, finding beauty in what wasn't staged. Fashion films itself were very polished, but the behind the scenes was very real. And finding the rawness in a fashion shoot became my forte. Spotting moments in between takes and capturing laughter, joy, emotions, and a lot of fun. That's something I believe in deeply. If you want to learn wedding filmmaking, make behind the scenes videos. They're not just documentaries of what happened. They're spaces where you can experiment with composition, movement, storytelling, and music. And you don't have the pressure of shooting a wedding. That is where instinct is built. Coming to the first wedding film I ever made. I had shot Riyaz and Kiran's Mumbai, Pakistan wedding reception, but I did mainly photos and I captured a few moments on video on my tripod and a 7200 and a Canon 5D Mark II, and I put them together as a slideshow, both photos and videos. It's still something so special that I rewatch when I'm feeling nostalgic, and it still wasn't a wedding film. Enter Ekta. So much love for you, Ekta. She called me one day and she said, Ankita, you are making my wedding film. And I told her very honestly, I'm a photographer, Ekta. She said, I already have a wedding photographer booked for my wedding, but I really want to make a video out of it and I think you can do it. You make my film. She had seen some of my fashion videos probably, or maybe Riyaz Kiran's slideshow. Somehow, she saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself back then. That gave me confidence and I said, cool, let's do it. I landed up at her wedding with my camera and a wired microphone, I think the Rode mic. Because by then I had figured out something important. If I want to tell a story, I need more than just music. I need voices. I need emotion in words. And that's where Bytes came in. I didn't just show up for the main events. I became a part of the gang, part of the group, part of the family. I went to their home. I went to the smaller functions, saw how they lived, saw how they spoke with their family. I was around Ekta while she was getting ready. I stayed very close as emotions unfolded naturally before me. One day before the wedding, it hit me. I need a second cinematographer because I had to be with Ekta while she was getting ready and somebody needed to go capture Mikhail's Barat. Luckily, I had a very good friend, Mitesh, who I had met at Fashion Week before that. And he did a fab job capturing Mikhail's Barat, all that energy, all the dancing and his decorated auto. I still remember capturing Ekta walking in for her wedding and singing, I follow you. I remember filming interviews all around the hotel, even inside the lift, just to get a clean audio. I remember recording Ekta Mikhail's bytes right after they got married by the poolside, and her friends telling her she should have babies soon and all that. Dancing the night away with them. Weddings were so real back then, unfiltered, unself-conscious, carefree. When I came back home, the shoot was done. And suddenly there was calm. And I sat with Akash and I said, I have no idea what to do with all this footage. I had never edited a wedding film before. I knew I couldn't do it with my trusted friend, my dear Dell laptop. It wasn't powerful enough to handle the amount of data that I ended up with. One day, I came home from, I think, another shoot, and there was a brand new iMac kept on my desk, and Akash just said, surprise. That moment changed everything. That was the beginning, guys. He sat with me through endless all-nighters. He researched music while I went through footage. And that's when he found the song for me, crazy little thing called Love. And we kind of built the film around it. The film is called Rock and Roll. A wedding film with that name. Already, you can imagine how much fun it was. And when we uploaded it on YouTube, it traveled far beyond us. But the reason I'm telling you this story is not nostalgia. It's because this is what wedding filmmaking really is. Capturing the wedding is just a fraction of the work. What you do with the footage and how you tell the story is a lot more important. How you make it feel like it's been specially made for your couple and it could not be any other way. Wedding filmmaking is not a technical process. It is an emotional one. First, you need to get attached to your work. You need to take ownership, responsibility. Second, you need to spend time with your footage, really sit with it. And third, you need to tell that story with all your heart. Only then will a film work, not just for the couple and their family, but for someone watching it years later who wasn't even there at the wedding. You know who I'm talking about? A third person should feel like they just attended the wedding. That's the goal. During the shoot itself, what matters most is not how well you capture it, it's how well you observe. A strong moment, even if it's shaky, even if it's technically imperfect, the lighting may not be right, but that moment will always trump a perfectly executed cinematic shot that has no emotion. Knowing when to roll, pre-roll, catching the in-between moments, and the biggest lesson, finding the delicate balance between directing and knowing when to step back. The moment you make your presence felt during someone's vulnerability, that emotion disappears. Comfort is everything. Just think about it. When you're with your friends, you're very real. You're yourself. And when you're with a stranger, you're guarded. You are behind a curtain. A good wedding cinematographer becomes a friend. They make you put your guard down. They make you comfortable, real. Someone who makes you forget that the camera even exists. That's when honesty shows up. And of course, technical expertise matters. Don't get me wrong. You cannot miss the shot. You should understand lighting, framing, composition, focus. You should know how to handle your camera. But all of those things, they support emotion. They can never replace it. Half the time, I feel you have to be a mind reader. Anticipate a moment even before it has unfolded and start rolling your camera in time to capture not just the action but also the reaction. Editing is where the wedding reveals itself to you. Once you have your footage, once you have your audio, bytes, speeches, conversations, only then does the story begin to take shape. Music comes at the end, but it's so important that it can make or break everything. And that is why wedding films cannot be over-planned. If you pre-plan too much, the film feels forced. Some of my best edits have happened when I don't overthink, when I just trust the footage and I just go with the flow. A few editing principles that I live by are let the moment breathe. Don't rush edits. Don't be afraid of silence. Edit emotion first, visual second. And if a shot feels indulgent, it probably is. Just cut it, chop it off. Smoothness matters, flow matters, restraint matters. Once the edit is logged, sound and color become everything. And this is where the wedding film starts becoming seamless. Next comes color. Color grading for me is not about making footage look better. It's about making it feel familiar. It's about using tools like Dehancer. I just started using this tool and you will see how it has made a difference in our films. I'll share some before and after footage and you will see how subtle things make a huge difference. How much warmth to keep so as not to change the color of the carefully chosen lehenga. How much grain to add. How to keep colors consistent throughout events that have looked very different from each other. And one thing I don't have to say to you, if you are an Indian wedding photographer or filmmaker, you will already know the kind of challenging situations we face every single day. Nothing is as expected, and we're used to surprises and delays and missed sunsets and whatnot. Especially in cases like this, color grading becomes extremely essential. We shoot things in log format to retain the maximum color depth and to also use the entire dynamic range of our very advanced cameras. But this footage, if not graded, can look really bad. And coloring is not easy. Even if you use the same camera system between multiple cinematographers, the footage will end up looking different because of many factors. One of them being the lenses, how they perceive light. Every lens will give you a different white balance. The cinematographer's personal preference for exposure will also give you inconsistent footage to work with. All of that gets solved at the grading table. The grading happens in 2 steps. One and most important is the matching of color and exposure throughout the film. The second is adding a look to the film. This brings consistency and makes the whole film look cohesive. I don't use film emulation just to stylize weddings, but I use it to humanize them. Film has a way of responding to light that feels closer to memory than digital perfection. So adding a little imperfection there makes a lot of difference. Grains add texture, not noise, texture. Halation adds a little bit of softness, not as an effect but as an emotion. The way highlights roll off, the way shadows fall, it all just feels timeless. And what I appreciate about Dehancer is that it rewards restraint. If you push it too far, you can feel it immediately and almost teaches you when to stop. I always stop before it starts looking too cinematic or overbearing. Because weddings shouldn't look over polished. I think they are lived experiences. They should look real. They should feel real. And color should support that. It should not overpower it. The biggest compliment a color grade can get is when no one even notices it and they just feel something, and that's what I try to achieve. Restraint is a creative choice. And a few more pointers. Not everything needs slow motion, guys. Not everything needs dramatic music. Not everything needs heavy grading. So restraint, practice it. Timelessness will always outlive trend. I've always avoided overuse of effects and a lot of random movements of the camera because all of that can look very jarring when you are in that mood. And when you're in the after party, it's fine, but rest of the things, I think it should just be used with a lot of restraint and try to make your wedding films timeless. People can watch 10, 20 years from now and they can hopefully still feel something. I have a lot of my couples celebrating 10-year anniversaries and they come back to me and they send me sweet messages that we watched our wedding film again. And I cannot tell you how happy that makes me, that I was able to do something right. Some of them are watching it with their kids now, so it's quite amazing. At WeddingNama, we love screening our films before they go to our couples. I'm sitting in the screening room right now. There's a projector, there's a little bit of a theater type seating. On a big screen, you notice everything. The pauses, the pacing, the emotional beats, the errors. So we always review it many times. And sometimes we do get lucky. We get to screen the films with our couples, and let me tell you, that is our happiest place. Watching them laugh, cry, relive moments they didn't even know that we captured. That's when we know that the film did its job. It pulled at their heartstrings just as we intended when we made it. Years from now, no one will ask what camera we used to make the film or what softwares or what was the process we followed. But they'll remember how it felt to watch their wedding film for the very first time. And that is my philosophy of wedding filmmaking. I hope this gives you some clarity or at least a starting point. If you have questions about filmmaking, editing or color, do leave them in the comments below. Akash and I read everything and we'll be happy to answer. Akash will also be making a few videos for his channel. because filmmaking is such a vast topic. I don't think I can cover or even touch like 5% of it in one video. But we're going to try and talk a lot more about it, because I think it makes a lot of difference when as a community we grow together. So yeah, excited to share this video with you all. Hope it's not too long and hope I didn't bore you. Do let me know what else you want me to make videos about. Alright, cheers guys. Take care. Bye.